March 21st, the sin of racism. You know how unlawful it is for a Jewish man to keep company with or go to one of another nation. But God has shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Acts 10:28. In Acts chapter 10, Peter received a vision he did not understand. God showed Peter a sheet being let down from the sky containing unclean animals, and he told Peter to kill and eat the animals. Peter had never eaten anything unclean, so he was confused by what he heard. At about that time, a group of Gentiles knocked at the door of the home where Peter was staying and invited him to go with them and share the gospel with the household of Cornelius. But Cornelius was a Gentile. It was against Jewish law for a Jew such as Peter to visit the home of a Gentile. Later at the home of Cornelius, Peter explained, God has shown me that I should not call any man common or unclean. Conditioned by his upbringing and the social and religious milieu of his day, Peter was racist. God instructed him to put aside his racism and take the gospel to people with whom he normally wouldn't associate. If God worked to remove racism 2,000 years ago, there's no question he cares about the issue today. While people generally interact positively and kindly with those of other races, racism still exists. It even exists among Christians, the last place on earth hatred and intolerance should ever be found. After the Los Angeles riots in 1992, the late Rodney King asked, "Can't we all just get along?" Imagine if we did. Imagine if the sin of racism disappeared from Christianity and every believer in Jesus treated all others with love without reference to race. Philippians 2:3 says, "In lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than himself." Paul wrote those words for people of every race. God went to great lengths to demonstrate to Peter that he shouldn't show preference to one race and unkindness to another. We can be certain God's mind hasn't changed on this. A society or a church that demonstrates love to all people, regardless of race, is a society or a church that is, to a considerable extent, demonstrating the love of God.